welcome to the WHHI Daily News. I'm McNair, and here's a look at your headlines. The largest field in RBC heritage history flips over on Friday. Those who played late Thursday will go out early Friday before hopefully the entire field of 143 players can be cut to the best 65 and ties for the weekend. Players are seeing something they've rarely seen at Harbortown in past years: taller rough, and that could keep scores from going very low. One of the most popular players on the course this week is Masters champion Jon Rahm. He's the first Masters champ to play the RBC Heritage right after winning since Jordan Spieth did back in 2015. Rahm said that even though he was tired from the Augusta ordeal, he would make the commitment to play and thought those who committed to buy tickets deserved to see the newly minted Masters champ. We'll have more on heritage coverage in just a few minutes. Well, the town of Port Royal has taken the lead in arresting development by passing a new tree ordinance that will increase the fines for cutting down specimen or landmark trees by up to 10 times. The hope is that developers will rethink the clear cutting of lots for new homes and businesses. The town council's unanimous vote increases the cost for removing a specimen tree from $50 to $500 an inch. And the cost for removing landmark trees will rise from the current $100 an inch to $750 an inch. Now, most specimen trees are at least 12 inches thick, and at 12 inches, the cost for removal would be $5,000. Most landmark trees are at least 2 feet thick, and at 24 inches, the cost per tree would be $18,000. One builder says the new fines would doom his plans for 2 workforce housing projects in Port Royal. Well, the race for the Republican nomination for president is getting more intriguing here in South Carolina as Senator Tim Scott made his formal announcement that he's launched an exploratory committee and plans to meet with state voters and donors this weekend in Goose Creek and Charleston. His social media video was filmed at Fort Sumter before he visited early caucus state Iowa and then early voting state New Hampshire. He didn't mention frontrunner Donald Trump or even former Governor Nikki Haley, who appointed Scott as a senator a decade ago. Trump has already locked down support from Senator Lindsey Graham, Governor Henry McMaster, and at least 3 congressmen. Recent polling has Scott at 1% nationally among Republicans. Here in South Carolina, 7% support, trailing Trump's 41%, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' 20%, and Haley's 18%. That poll was taken before Trump's indictment in New York. Well, a Ridgeland man is facing multiple charges after Bluffton police got a call late Wednesday afternoon from a Wendy's employee who said a drive-through customer had flashed a gun at her. Authorities say they pulled the vehicle over on Highway 170 and discovered multiple guns and illegal drugs. 22-year-old Tyshawn Smith faces charges of unlawful possession of a firearm, presenting a firearm, and possession with the intent to distribute narcotics. 3 male juveniles with Smith, a 17-year-old from Okatee, 15-year-old from Bluffton, and a 15-year-old from Florida, were also charged with possession of a firearm. Well, when South Carolina legislators get back to work next week after their Easter recess, they'll only be dealing with bills that have already cleared either the House or Senate, known as the crossover bills. That dooms proposals like Lowcountry Senator Tom Davis's medical marijuana bill, among others, which won't be considered until next year. The legislature has been getting busier working on constitutional gun carry proposals, various bans on abortion, critical race theory, a hate crimes measure, and school choice vouchers, all of which are through one of the 2 legislative bodies. A bill banning gender-affirming care for minors is also likely to be on the shelf for this session. Well, if you've had birds fly into your windows this spring, you may find it hard to believe, but they may be drunk. According to the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, some birds like cedar waxwings and American robins often eat fruit that has started to rot and ferment. And when those fruits ferment, they produce alcohol, which can cause birds to lose their coordination and their ability to fly. Wildlife officials say that's what may cause birds to crash into windows or other objects more frequently. Now, if you want to help birds avoid drunken crashes into your home, experts say try making windows more visible by adding a net, tape, shutters, paint, or decals to windows. For more information on these stories and more, visit the news sources on your screen and be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you have a story idea, email us at news@WHHITV.com. Now it's time to take a look at our weather, and with that, here's Maria.
Thanks, Allie. Yep, so taking a look ahead, we are going to see a couple more days of rain and thunderstorms, but then we will be getting a little break this weekend and starting into next week. Taking a look at Friday, however, it's going to be cloudy with scattered showers in the morning, should be clearing up by the afternoon, and then in the late afternoon, we are going to see a thunderstorm roll through, which should be clearing up by the evening. Hilton has going to have a high of 74, a low of 64. Bluffton's going to have a high of 77, a low of 64, and Beaufort is going to have a high of 77 and a low of 65. The sunrise for Friday is going to be at 6:56 and sunset's going to be at 7:51. Taking a look at the beach tides, low tide is going to be at 11:12 a.m. and high tide is going to be at 3:53 p.m. Taking a look into the weekend and then a little bit into next week. Saturday it's going to be sunny to partly cloudy with highs in the 80s and lows in the 60s. Come Sunday it's going to be cloudy with scattered showers throughout the afternoon, highs in the 70s, lows in the 60s. And then come Monday it's just going to be sunny with the highs going down to the 70s and lows in the 50s. That's it for today. Let's head it back to the desk.
Thanks, Maria. Up next, we'll tell you about a long-time tradition that takes place every year at the RBC Heritage. Stay right there.